Hello everyone, welcome to this episode. In this tutorial series, I would like us to create a Laravel Livewire CRUD application. And Laravel Livewire is a package that enables us to be able to work and have the full functionality of a full stack application by just having Livewire installed in our application. And in this case, you can be able to just have the same intensity that you'll be able to achieve with Vue.js or Svelte.js or even React.js, but then within the comfort of just working with PHP. So let us go ahead and see how we can be able to create this CRUD application. And what I want us to do is to install a fresh application of Livewire. So I'm going to navigate to local disk C XAMPP folder, and inside the htdocs I would like to git bash here, and probably I can go ahead and make this window, the text, a little bit larger, so I can make it 16, such that we can be able to just follow through. Apply. So I want us to install a fresh application of Laravel, and so for us to do that, we are going to run the command composer require composer create project Laravel /Laravel, and then the name of our application, I'm going to call it L3, and in this case you'll be using Livewire 3, so I'm going to call it L3 CRUD, like that. So I will hit enter, and as you can see, that command will enable us to be able to install Laravel in our application. So I'm going to pause this video because it takes a little bit of a while for it to finish installing. Our Laravel application is fully installed, so I would like us to install Livewire, and for us to be able to do that, I want us to change directory and hop into the L3 CRUD, because that is the name of the app that we have created. So we are inside that directory, and I want us to now go ahead and install Livewire, and we are installing Livewire 3, which is a beta version. So we are going to have composer require Livewire /Livewire, and then we are going to have the double quotation and the up arrow version 3.0 at beta, like that, and then we will close the quotation marks, and that will be able to install for us Livewire inside our L3 CRUD application. I will pause the video temporarily. Livewire is also fully installed in our application, and now everything is good for us. So I would like to just go ahead and open this application in VS Code, and now we have our L3 CRUD opened here. I want us to go ahead and just run this application and see. So we are going to run the command php artisan serve, php artisan serve, like that, and that will be able to run our application. Now for us to be able to create our Livewire, we can actually be able to just use it directly. There's no publishing of assets and so on and so forth, so everything will just work like that. So let us go ahead and do that. And what I want us to do is to begin by creating a layout file. And for us to be able to create a layout file, we are going to just in our Visual Studio, in our terminal, we can be able to run the command. Let me just create a new terminal. Yes, we can run the command php artisan livewire :layout. And that command is going to create for us a layout file for our Livewire component. So whenever we are showing a full Livewire component as a full page, then we will be actually using the layout component. So you can see inside views components we have app.blade, which is our layout file. Now, because I want us to use Bootstrap, I would like to just copy the CDN link for Bootstrap and include it here. Obviously, you can also be able to install Bootstrap offline. You can use Laravel UI, or you can just install it using npm. So I want us to just copy a CDN link here. So you copy this one for CSS because that is what we will need. JavaScript probably pretty much will not require so much of it. So I'm going to paste this one here. And just by doing that, we can be able to begin using Bootstrap in our application. Now, as you can see, we are passing title as properties and we also have slots. So every other component will be inserted here as long as we are using it as a full page component in this case. So we are loading just one component in a page. That is what I mean. So let us go ahead and now create a component, and in this case we are going to run the command. So we want to first of all have create customer. So we are going to have php artisan make and then livewire, and then after that then we can put what we want to create. So create customer, and it actually has to be exactly like this, or maybe you can also be able to use kebab case. So let me click that, and what is going to happen is that it's going to create for us two files. Do not know if I have entered because I'm seeing nothing so far. Yes, now it has been created. Now we have create customer. So when we look at it, we are going to check for it in two places. So when we click up HTTP, before we click to HTTP, we have Livewire. So up Livewire, inside here we have create customer. So that is our first class. And if we wanted to also do it without, or in other words, creating it in a folder, we could say make Livewire, then the name of the folder dot create customer. So for example, customers dot create customer, then it would be able to have them in folders like that. So now I would like us to continue and be able to work it out. So inside our create customer, we have a render method which is rendering our view here. And in this case, our view is inside Livewire. Inside here we have create -customer, and this is what we have here. So maybe I can remove this and just say customers page, just like that, and we see if we are able to load that. So let us go ahead and create a route that will assist us to load that. And inside here, what we are going to do, we are going to say we will use app. Remember I showed you where the class is, the Livewire class. So it's app Livewire, then create customer, and then create customer, like that. So that is the class. Then now if we want to show that view, we can be able to just have route get, and in this case we can say create customers / create, just the Laravel way. And then now we can talk about the create customer class, like that. So the class that we are having here, this one that we have just included here. So now when I save this and we go back and try and attempt, and so go to localhost 8000, and then of course / create, customers / create, like that. Then it will actually load whatever it is, whatever component that we have. And we are seeing that it's saying that our HTML is missing an end tag. I guess it could be just what we are having here. So let me maybe modify that. So create Livewire, let me just have some HTML tags, so I can say h1, and we can close h1, like that. And maybe I can say customers, create customer, maybe just to check that also Bootstrap is working, I can give it a class of alert danger, maybe, or something of that sort. We see if it's going to show that. So I refresh again. Now you can see create customer, and it has some reddish background. So what I want us to do is not what we're having here, but just to put a Bootstrap form here. So I go to getbootstrap.com. Now we go to documentation, and inside documentation I want to go to forms. So forms overview, there is a form that we have here, is the one that I want to copy. So this one here. But before I do that, let me first of all have a CRUD. So you have our form inside a CRUD. So let us first of all have a CRUD, and then we will be able to copy also the form. As you can see, the tutorial is not very difficult to follow because I'm just copying these things from here. So I will copy this. Then we are going to now replace what we are having here by that. So we are going to paste it like that. And actually now, as you can see, we are having something that is looking like this, even though of course it's extending towards the end. And I think we can be able to treat that by going to our layout in our app.blade, before inside the place where we are having the slot. Here I can have a div with a class of container, like that, and then it should be able to sort of like assist us to not to have it exactly at the end like that. So once I save that, if we are to go back and check and refresh, now you can see it's a little bit formatted, And I want us to do a little bit more on this card. I can be able to just have an offset of 3 and column 6. That will be able to make our card a little bit smaller towards the middle, like that. Obviously, we can say that this one is the title of it is create customer, like that, sort of like the heading here, and then inside here now I can come and we can be able to put our form. So I go to overview, and then the first form that we have here is what I'm going to copy. And then once we copy the form, I'm going to paste it here inside the card body. There, I'm going to replace with that. And obviously now if we are to refresh and check our form, sorry for that, maybe I can close those others. If we are to refresh and check our form, now you see it looks nice. So of course, the first thing that I would like us to have in this form is the customer name. So maybe I can copy what we are having here and put it above there. So we can copy that and put it here. You paste it here, and what I want us to call it is name, now not email address. Name. And then of course the type is text, and then the email help, we don't need that because that one probably we have it for email. In fact, even for email I will not be needing it. So the next input is email, and also the email help I'll remove. The next one I think should be the phone number. You can take the 3 things. Phone number, so that is the phone number of the customer. Of course the type is text, like that. And then of course we have our submit button, and we also have this check button. We don't need it. That one we do not need it actually, the checkbox. Now when I refresh, we have a form looking like that. I think it looks not bad. Now I want us to now go ahead and be able to put some functionality in that form. And so you go to our create customer class in app Livewire, create customer, and inside here I want us to declare some variables, also in this case properties. So we can have several of them. Of course we have them as public properties, and then the first one is a name, and we are going to set it to an empty string like that. And then we have public email, we're going to set it to an empty string also. And then we have public now what else is that, phone. Even this one we are going to set it to an empty string like that. I've typed it badly, so let me correct that way. After that, then now we have our render. So in this case we can be able to make use of these things that we have created here. In this case, the properties that we have been able to create here. So let's go ahead and see what we can be able to do. And I want to also have another method here for us to save. So maybe I can call it public function, save, like that. And inside this function, maybe for now we can say dd endpoint hit if we are able to hit that endpoint. Now for us to be able to submit our form, we will just need to have the click handler that will be able to work with our create customer form. So in this case, we have the submit button with a type of submit, and inside this form I want us to go ahead and just handle the submit button. So what we are going to do is we are going to have wire, sort of like wire submit here. So we are going to have wire submit like that, and this will be able to handle for us the submit, but we are submitting to, did I say save, or did I do what? Yes, I called it save. So I say save like that, just that. It's enough for us to be able to submit our form, even though of course we are submitting an empty form. So when I click here, as you can see, this one we have endpoint hit, so meaning we are actually reaching that endpoint. But when I click this button, as you can see, it's disabled for a while, and then we have endpoint hit. But now we are not submitting anything, so let us go ahead and be able to submit these inputs. So what we need to add to our input is wire model, and then now we can be able to put the name of what we are passing. So the first thing in this case is name, wire.mod model, sorry, wire model like that. And then also for email, we will also have wire model like that. And then of course the name is email like that. And then lastly, we are going to also have wire model phone. Phone like that. And then once we have it like that, now if we now submit, we can be able to check for the whatever it is that is being passed. So let me go to our create customer endpoint, and instead of DDing endpoint hit, I want to DD this /all like that, and see if there will be something that will be submitted towards that endpoint. So I'm going to write my name here, William, and my email address, william@example.net, and then the phone number, I'm just going to type numbers here. When we click submit, now you can see towards the endpoint our information is actually being submitted. Now I want us to go ahead and also work with validation, because at the end of everything, it's not proper for us to trust the user, the end user, with all this information. So let us put some validation requirements here and then be able to validate these users. So in this case, we will have validated, and we can just do it the normal Laravel way. So we can say this validate. The only difference is that now we are not saying request validate, we are using this. So in this case, it's referring to whatever it is that you're passing in here. So in this case, we can have name, and for name, we can say it should be required, and maybe just maximum of 255. And then of course we can talk about the email. So this one we are going to validate, we want it to be required. and we want it to be a valid email, and we also want it to be unique in the table that is called customers, like that. And then lastly we have phone. Also the phone, I want it to be required, and I want it to be unique. So unique in the table called customers, like that. And I think maybe we can also have it that it is required. So I mean it is a maximum of 255, because I intend to set it to a string. So 255. Even this other one, we can also set it to max 255, like that, characters. Now, so this is our validation, and we seem to be having an error, and that is because we do not have the closure here, so the closing tag. So after that, I want to go on and say that I want us to go ahead and create. So in this case, I can say customer full colon create, and then we can just pass in validated, just like that, validated, just like that. You can close that colon there. Obviously we do not have a model called customer, so I'm going to create it in a while, but let me first of all import it here. So I'm going to just say use app models customer, like that, and then I'm going to create it. So let me create it here, so you can go ahead and clear. Sorry, yes, clear. There's a problem. There's something I've created that is not supposed to be created, so I'm going to delete it, and I will also delete it in the views, because there's something that has been created now. I think this one here. Yes, like that. So let us go ahead and create a model. So PHP artisan make model, and in this case our model is customer, and then I also wanted to tag the migrations to be created at the same time. And now we have created customers and the migration. So inside the migration, and migrations will be found in database migrations, and I think it should be the last created record. And here I want us to create a few more columns. So we are going to have table string, the data type, and we are going to call the name of this column as a name, and then we are going to have another one, table string, and in this case you have email, and for the email I want it to be unique, like that. So I can just tag it like that, and then we are going also to have table table string phone, and also this one we are going to have it as unique. I believe everything is fine here. Of course, one more thing, I need to go to our models. So the model that we've created, the customer model, so app models customer, and here I want to just allow mass assignment, and we are going to have protected fillable, and we are going to allow name email and phone, like that. Otherwise, if we do not do it like this, we will have an error, because actually what we are doing in our create customer, we are doing what we are actually just using customer create, and then we are passing in whatever it is that you have validated. So now after validation, I want us to sort of redirect, but in this case there's nowhere we are redirecting, because this is the first sort of like component that we have created. So let us leave it like that for now, and then once we create the one that lists the users, we can be able to redirect. So let us go ahead and just see if we can be able to save this our user. So I'm going to run MySQL in XAMPP. So I'm going to just click on both of them to run them, and now I want us to go to our env and change the name of the database. In this case, we are going to call it L3 CRUD, like that. So you save it, and now I want to just go ahead and run the migration. Ideally, I'm supposed to first of all go to the phpMyAdmin and create this database. But nowadays with Laravel, I think things are getting better and better. So I can just say php artisan migrate, and it will prompt me that I do not have a database with that name, and it will create the database for me. So so you can see the database L3 CRUD does not exist. Would you like to create it? I can say yes by typing Y, and then it is created, and the default tables are migrated. So basically that is that. So I want us to attempt and see if we can be able to save a user. And first of all, I want us to go to localhost phpMyAdmin and just confirm that everything is fine regarding the table that we have created. And then after that, we can go ahead and see if we can be able to create a customer. So we have a database called L3 CRUD, and if I open, as you can see, we are having a table called customers. Sorry, I have opened something else. We have a table called customers. We have ID, name, email, phone, and created and updated that. So let's go ahead and attempt on our form and see if it's possible for us to actually create this user here. So I will click, and now you can see it has blinked, and then it has come back. So probably if everything has gone on well, we have a user in our database, and true to that, we do have a user. Okay, so basically I think everything has worked perfectly. Sometimes you might also want to, after you have clicked submit, then you want to reset the form. So you can do that by just saying this reset, and it will be able to reset the values on your form. So let us try again, but now I will have to change the details, because now we have that email already created, because if we attempt to submit now, we are going to get validation errors, and which I have not been able to create provision for. So that one we are going to do in a short while, but let me just change this one to somebody else, James, and here is James, and the number, the phone number, I'll just type in something. When I click here, yes, there's a problem because it's beginning with semicolon. Now when I click again, this user has been saved, but now you see, because we have said we want to reset, now the inputs have been removed, so they have not continued to be seen here. So maybe that one we will work with it a little bit late. But now let us look at validation, because we have also done validation here, and Now when we are working with validation, now I want to just, because already we are receiving validation errors from the front end, or in other words from the back end, I just want us to go to our create customer.blade, so in this case to our view, or in other words our component, and be able to cater for the errors. So I will do cater for one of the errors, and then all the others we can just copy and paste. So let me just click on this one. This is the input for, is it email? Let me begin with the name so that we move systematically. Yes, so the input for name. And what I want us to do is to have a div. So we are going to have a div like that, and do you close it that way. After that, inside here I want us to have a conditional, so we can say at error, and in this case we are going to check for errors. So in this case we are checking the error, if there is any error that that is related to the name attribute. So in this case name, this one that we are having here, and if we have anything of that sort, we can be able to handle it, or in other words display it. So at error name, and then at end error, like that. And inside here I want us to have a span, and we span, and then we are going to have a message. So I would like us to just have display Laravel variable, in this case message, like that. So you can see pretty much it's almost similar to just how you work with Laravel, but then I can be able to put a class here. So class, and I want the text to be red, so text hyphen danger, like that. And I think that will be good enough. So I want to just test and see if this validation is going to apply. So when I click submit without putting anything, you can see the name field is required. And you can also be able to do that for the others. So I'm going to just copy this, everything that we have there, and then we will come and put it here where we're having email. So we will change the error. Now we are checking for the error that belongs to email, and then also the error that is as a result of the phone number. So here error phone, like that. So now when I click here, you can be able to see now the name field is required, the email field is required, the phone field is required. So that would mark the end of this episode. So I would like us to just stop here right now, and then we will continue with the next episodes in a short while. Thank you very much for following this tutorial up until this point. If you are following this channel for the first time, I ask that you may please subscribe. You can also click on the notification bell, and if you like the video, you can leave a thumbs up. Thank you very much.